Welcome back to Wednesdays with Wilfred, the special edition Making an Impact UM Black Alumni. This week we have the opportunity and privilege to sit down with lawyer extraordinaire David Sowemimo, who recently created a scholarship fund specifically for Black law students. Thank you so much for joining us today, David, and thank you for paying it forward and giving back to your UM community.
Really good intro. That was a really good intro. I'm flattered now.
Well, you're a two-time grad and you just set up this scholarship fund that's going to change lives for so many students. What was the driving force behind you as an international student coming to Winnipeg, coming to the University of Manitoba, and now a successful lawyer paying it forward and coming back and giving back?
Yes, I think I always tell my friends that going to Winnipeg and going to the University of Manitoba was probably one of the best things I ever did because, coming from Africa and coming from Nigeria, I wouldn't want to go to New York first, or I wouldn't want to go to Vancouver first, or another big city. Coming to such a smaller, friendlier city gave me the opportunity to learn the culture, and I had room to learn about the culture better than if I had gone to a bigger city in New York or something. Regarding the scholarship, it came out of my personal observations of the judicial system. And I go to the courthouse, I go to the remand center, and I go to the prisons to see clients a lot. And at the tail end of the judicial system, you have people of color, a lot of people of color in the system. And at the top end of the judicial system, you have not so many people of color as lawyers, as judges in that space. So I thought this would be a good opportunity to give back and to encourage other students to pursue law as a career.
That's incredible. And I'm so thankful that you brought that up because unfortunately in Canada, there's a disproportionate amount of people of color and Black people in the prison system. Was that a thought process in prevention and advocating for those individuals?
It was a nagging thought in my mind because I would go to the prison systems to see a client, and you could see just the sheer size of the people of color incarcerated. And also you go to courts and you see the lawyers that advocate for those people, very rarely racialized lawyers. And then you see judges, very rarely would you see a person of color. It's beginning to change, but it's very rare that you would see someone of color in those positions. So I thought it would be a good opportunity to encourage other people, set up this fund that they can access if they want to, just to pursue law as a career.
I read your article and you said you'd show up to the courthouse and the security guard would be asking you, what are you doing here? Can you talk about those situations and those experiences a little bit more?
I think as an international student, you have this unique and very special perspective looking at Canada from the outside. So you're looking at Canada as an outsider in the first couple of years that you come to Canada. That perspective gives you, the opportunity to see the flaws and the beauty of the Canadian society. So when I go into the courthouse, I may see something that someone born in Canada may not see. Just the dichotomy between the number of racialized people that are accused and the number of racialized people that are lawyers or judges. So those perspectives, you get to see it more when you are looking at Canada from the outside.
Is there a certain level of trust and comfort that you have found that your colleagues may not be able to have when you're dealing with other Black or Indigenous people you're representing or you're visiting?
I think it gives you an instant connection with that client. So when a client walks through the door, a person of color, they ask for you in some cases specifically because they think you may understand the story they're about to tell. And also it helps you put legal principles into context. So, in law school, we learn a lot of legal principles, legal ratios and cases, but at the end of the day, you're dealing with people with very unique stories. So I think it helps me, being an international student, a person of color, to see those stories in a different light and to apply the legal principles that we've been taught in school to those specific situations.
I know you're really advocating and working hard for them. I won't take too much more of your time, David. I'm going to ask you the question that I ask everyone that comes on here. If you had to give advice to young David entering the University of Manitoba in 2021 as a first-year international student, what is advice that you would give?
I'm going to say, don't think, just do it, is what I'm going to say. And that's because we tend to, to second guess. We plan, we have this idea, we read self-help books all day long. At the end of the day, you just have to do it. And I think that's something that may have held me back a bit. I just kept planning, I kept strategizing how to become a lawyer. At the end of the day, I just had to pick up the LSAT exam booklet and just do it at the end of the day.
Thank you so much for that message, because confidence is huge. And I know all the recent grads, young alumni, and the students listening to this right now can take so much of your advice and put it into action. Thank you so much for joining us, David. On behalf of the University of Manitoba External Relations and Alumni Relations, we are so thankful for you joining us today. And a special thank you from the 148,000 alumni around the globe.
All right. Thanks a lot, Wilfred, and best of luck.
Thank you.